beautiful human, and welcome back to my channel and for another pregnancy update, weeks 19 to 27. So it has been quite a while since I've done a pregnancy update, and I will link the previous one down below so you can go watch that if you haven't seen that already. And we will continue from weeks 19 to 27, and at first there wasn't that many changes compared to the previous update, but then of course as time goes on there will be more symptoms and more things to update you about. So let's talk first about how is the baby doing. So currently, and actually I just announced our baby's gender in my previous video, which will also be linked down below, and these iCards, or the iCard, and we are going to be having a baby girl. We are so excited. So baby girl is doing fine. She's growing a lot and fast, and you can really tell from the way I look that she's growing, and she's very active, and the kicks that she makes are really strong, and sometimes they really hurt, especially when she kicks down there. That hurts. But it's really nice to be able to feel her all the time, and I have been poking her a lot, and then when you poke her she gets probably annoyed or something, and then she will kick back, and that's so amazing to have some communication there. And the baby is responding a lot to sounds, and for example, every morning that Daniel wakes up to go to work, and I also wake up at the same time just because I hear the alarm clock. And when I start to talk to Daniel, the baby actually wakes up too, because she hears the sounds, and then she will start to kick, and it's so cute. It feels like we are already a family of 3, but just one member is unseeable, kinda, but still really present all the time, every day. So the baby is at this time about the size of a papaya, and she is about 35 centimeters tall and weighs about 1 kilogram, which is actually already quite a lot if you think that babies, when they are full term, will weigh about from 3 to something 4 kilos. So she's already quite heavy, though still very little. Alrighty, the baby is doing great. How am I doing? So there has been, correct me if I'm wrong, but calculating fast, 8 weeks since I updated you the last time, or 9. And like I said, at first there wasn't anything other than those symptoms that I already had, and like I told you in the previous updates, there actually were 2 parts, so part 1 and part 2, and I believe that it was in part 2 that I was talking more about the frequent urination symptom that I had that was really bad, and it affected on my mental health and physical health quite a lot. So now I've obviously gotten more used to that, and even though it's still a big part of my everyday life, it's not that disturbing because I've learned how to cope with that problem, at least quite well. And I actually had to go and take that urine sample to get it analyzed in the laboratory, and because they wanted to check whether I was having a UTI, so urinary tract infection, or not. And the results came back, and I didn't have it, like I was anticipating. So then I just had to figure out other ways to cope with the problem, like having these like incontinence pads when I go somewhere where like there might not be a toilet very near or something. But luckily there hasn't been any accidents yet. TMI, sorry. But yeah, it is still a huge part of my life. But it's okay. So around week 22, I think, I started having quite painful nights, in the sense of having lots of hip pain and back pain, and it has only gotten worse each week. I had already these kind of pains before, and I think I mentioned them also in my previous update video, but now they have really become disturbing. Luckily I still can sleep, but around that week 22 I started having difficulties also in falling asleep, and one of the reasons was that I was becoming way more uncomfortable finding a good position to sleep. So whenever I sleep, because I have to sleep on my sides, I'm laying on one side and then it gets really painful, and then I switch and then that gets really painful, and I have to switch all the time and play with my pillows and my blanket and everything to kind of find a good position. But I'm getting used to that too, so yay! And of course, now that my belly is getting bigger, I really feel, or it's quite hard to turn. So whenever I have to turn from one side to another, I feel like I have to hold my belly from the other side so that it won't like smash to the other side. And also getting up, it is so hard. It is so hard, and it takes a lot of time, and it's only getting worse. But that's part of pregnancy. Also, as my belly is getting way bigger, I have gotten difficulties with breathing as well, and they started about around week 25 or something, and especially when I'm sitting down like this, or if I'm having a bad posture, which is not good in any ways, but when I'm sitting like this, because the belly is pushing my lungs and my intestines and everything, and they are all squished together, it's really hard to breathe. And then I have to get a straight back and try to breathe again. And also when I'm getting a higher heartbeat, for example when I'm walking or doing some activities, I might start because it's hard to breathe again. And moving is also a little more harder now, and tying your shoes, pulling your pants or leggings or thighs up is really hard too. I've also experienced fatigue more now, and something really weird that I have noticed, which I don't know if it's a pregnancy symptom or not, because it could be a pregnancy symptom, but it also could be just because it is just happening. My eyesight has gotten way worse, but because if it's a pregnancy symptom, it could very well develop further. I don't want to go and pay for getting my eyes checked out now, but rather after having the baby, because if there are going to be a lot of changes still, then it would be useless for me to get new glasses all the time just because my eyesight is getting worse all the time. But I see things way more blurrier now, and it very well could be maybe because of my increased heart rate. I don't know, but we'll have to figure that out once the baby is out. Then my appetite has gotten actually worse. I mean that now I don't feel so hungry all the time, because in the beginning of the second trimester I felt like I could eat everything and such big portions, but now it's more of the opposite. I feel like I cannot eat that much at all, and I have to eat smaller portions more often. I don't know why is that, but I'm still gaining some weight, and for now I don't see that it's a problem, but I have to, of course, keep an eye on my eating so that I wouldn't eat too little. I mentioned in my last update that I had some nose bleeding from time to time, and actually it got worse around weeks 20 and so on. Now they have decreased a little, but I used to have bloody stuff coming from my nose every morning and sometimes during the day. But something that has been constant is that I have a very stuffy nose all the time. I have to, what is it called? Sneeze? A lot. Multiple times a day. And Daniel has been laughing at me that when I go to sleep, it's like, because I have to breathe usually through my mouth and not my nose, I'm like and it sounds so like hard, and of course it's louder than breathing through your nose. Then some things related to the baby, well, these all are very related to the baby, but more to the baby and me connection thing. I've also started experiencing Braxton Hicks, which are these practice contractions. So my belly might get really tight and then it goes away. So it's not like, because when sometimes the baby is laying, for example, on this side of my belly, it might get hard from that. Ooh, I think I just got a contraction. Anyways, they are not painful, and usually when it happens, my all or entire belly gets harder, and then it goes away. And when the baby is doing the hardening of my belly, it's usually from one spot or one side or something. There was actually one time that I woke up at around 9 a.m. and I had quite strong period kind of pain, and I believe that it was a practice contraction but with pain, and if those continue for a certain amount of time, or if they get worse, then it's time to call the hospital and maybe go there, and they might start to delay a possible delivery too early. So I got really worried, and then I laid down about for an hour, and then it went away, luckily. But those are things that I'm a little scared of, because I am a first-time mom, first-time pregnancy, and then because I don't know from the past what these contractions are like, it's sometimes really hard for me to understand what's happening, and then I get scared. But then at the same time, I don't want to do anything when there's nothing to worry about. But luckily, there are professionals that I can call and everything. So I will be fine. Something really cute that I've been experiencing, or at least I think I have, is baby hiccups. They feel like little kicks, but at the same time they come in a certain rhythm and not like sudden pokes. And they come and go, and sometimes I don't even notice if I've had them, and sometimes I just notice that, oh, now I think I'm feeling them. And it's really cute to think that there is a little baby having hiccups in my belly. I think that those were all the things that I had to update you about. And now let's go and see my current pregnancy belly. Okay, so here is my belly from the front. And then when I go to the side, you can see that there is a big baby belly growing all the time and making me feel sometimes really uncomfortable. But I'm really excited to see that the belly is growing. So here is my belly then without a shirt. I still haven't seen any stretch marks, and I don't know if I'm going to have them. I do have some on my hips when I grew older as a teenager, but for now I still don't have any on my belly. By the way, you can see more frequent updates on my belly and on my pregnancy and on my life from my Instagram, so you can go and check it out. There is a link down below in the description box. So that was it from this video. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this update of mine, and I really hope to see you very soon with another video. If you didn't see my previous video about revealing the gender, and there you can also see and hear all about my past ultrasounds, feel free to go and check it out. But until the next video, have a great week, day, night, whatever. And I hope to see you very soon with another video. Bye!